Hi friends, today I have for you some whips and a few plans, some sewing adjacent purchases, and at the end I'll tell you what I'm planning on doing for Vlogmas. But before we get started, hello and welcome to Brave Little Buckaroo. I'm Tamsin. I live in Perth, Western Australia, where I run an online quilting fabric shop and offer long arm quilting services from my home. I also like to knit and sew garments and do lots of other creative crafty things, which I talk about here on this channel. And every time I do this, I feel like I've completely forgotten how to do this. But I will carry on and do my best. It's been a couple weeks since my last video, so I'm a little bit out of practice. Yeah. So first of all, what I'm wearing today is the Anna Allen Anthea blouse. This is the first one that I made out of a rayon that I got from Spotlight. It was a clearance fabric that I had had in my stash for a really long time and I didn't even like it that much, so I thought it would be a good choice to use for my first go at this blouse. But then I actually ended up liking it so much that I wear it all the time. The only downside is it will wrinkle as soon as you look at it, and it's really hard to press these sleeves or even to steam them without them just looking like a wrinkly mess. But that's okay, we do our best. And I'm wearing them with the Sew Liberated Chanterelle pants, the cropped version, which you can't see. This is also the first pair of these that I made, just in a cheap-ish linen from Spotlight as well for a first version. I wanted to try it out. And they turned out really great, and I've made them a few times since then. I've also made, I think, two or three other Anthea blouses. Now the blouse I made, sorry, I've got some notes behind you, in a straight size 18. And I think it fits great. And the only mod I made was it has a band on the sleeve. And in the pattern it tells you to cut it on the bias, but I'd seen a few people say that if you do that it gets too stretchy. And like stretch it out too much, so I cut that on the straight grain, and I think that's the only mod I made to the blouse. And the pants I also made in a straight size 18, and my notes say that I increased the rise by 1 inch, which is pretty normal for me, and that I shortened the leg by 3 inches, which seems a bit excessive, but maybe I did. That's what I wrote down. I think my other versions I've only shortened the leg by 1 inch, but they are a bit long. I have short legs, sadly. So I do like this length, and perhaps I'll revisit cropping them a bit further in the future. Okay, so that's what I'm wearing today. And I've had a bit of a mishap in the sewing room over the past week or so. I started making a new top. It's kind of a circular story. So I'll start where I started, with a whip. And this is actually another pair of chanterelle pants. And I cut these out ages ago. I can't even remember when I cut them out. This is a cotton linen blend by French General Fabrics, which is manufactured by Moda. So it's a quilting fabric company, but this is one of the cotton linen blends that they put out. And it's from the La Vie Bohème collection. I've had it for, again, years, I think. I think I got this fabric at Patchwork at Homespun, which is in Myrie, south in Perth, south of here. South of me, you don't know where I live, it's in Perth. Or I possibly got it at Calico and Ivy, which is also in Perth. But I'm pretty sure it was Patchwork at Homespun. And it's got like a dusty blue background with these white paisley-ish sort of flowers on it. Yeah, it's beautiful. And so I'm going to make some chanterelle pants out of this, the cropped barrel leg version, the same ones that I'm wearing today. And so my plan, I thought, well, I'll finish these because I needed to sew something. I've been doing a lot of work sewing, like client quilting and stuff lately, so I thought, well, I need to sew something for myself, and I thought I'll finish these. I don't normally cut things out and then set them aside. I like to sort of start a project and then finish it, but for whatever reason, I didn't. So I thought I'll finish these pants, and then my plan was to make a top to go with the pants out of this embroidered cotton that I showed a couple of videos ago. I think this was in episode 7, 2 videos ago. It's called Versailles embroidered cotton. That's the right side. And it is by Pigeon Wishes. And I purchased it from the Dahlia Society. And it's got this lovely sort of grid. Oh, you can see that well. That with like little embroidered flowers all through it. And I talked about making a statement blouse, or a blouse with statement sleeves and no buttons, because I didn't fancy trying to do buttonholes in all this embroidery. And I'd listed a few tops, different patterns that I thought I might make with it. Sorry, I'm just throwing things on the floor. I listed a few patterns in that video that I thought I might make out of that fabric. And I ended up choosing the McCall 7325. And that's where things got a bit pear-shaped. So obviously I didn't want to jump straight in and make a new pattern, well, a new to me pattern with the fancy fabric, right? So I was going to make a practice version, but it's a pretty oversized, blousey, floaty sort of thing. Huge sleeves, big bodice. And so I thought it would be pretty safe to just make it still in, you know, not the good fabric, but a good fabric, a nice fabric. I didn't think I had to make like a full-on muslin toile of it. So what happened was I chose this fabric, which is a Japanese cotton lawn. It's so pretty. It's got these little pink and mustard flowers and little leaves. It's quite ditzy, but I think it's really lovely. And I picked this up again ages ago from another local fabric shop, which is called Busy Bee. And she specializes in Japanese fabrics, mostly like quilting fabrics. Well, they're Japanese yarn dyed cottons, but she specializes in using them in quilts. And she has a shop in Guildford in Perth, but she runs it out of her house. I don't think she has as much of an online, like a website shop as much, but you can go to her house and, you know, she does classes and things like that, and you can go and shop there when she's open. So that's where I got that fabric from. And the pattern did not go well. I got it to the point where I could try it on, and I was just like, I'm not loving it. It's like too big in some places and maybe too small in other places. Like the fit is just all wrong for me. So I'm trying to decide if I'm going to alter it. Try to alter it, make it work for me, or if I should completely unpick it, go back to fabric pieces and try and make something else out of the fabric, or if I should just throw it in the corner and forget it ever happened. Should I put it on and show you what the problem is? Maybe I'll do that. Maybe you can help me decide. I'll put it on and show you. Okay. Okay, so here's what we're dealing with. I haven't got the sleeves finished. I've actually just got a hair tie wrapped around there. So it kind of looks like what it would look like if there was elastic in the sleeves. But I think the problem I'm having is mostly here. Although it is also way too long. Like it's closer to my knees than it is to my hips. Like it's so long. So I'm thinking it needs to be shortened by like, you know, heaps. Probably like, geez, 6 inches. Like it's way too long, I think. I mean, I guess it is long in the pattern picture, but it's too long for me. It's just too much fabric, I think. And so the problem that I have is when the neckline is where I want the neckline to be, the bust seam here should be under my bust, but it's not. It's like falling from probably the widest point of my bust. And I did hold up the pattern piece to myself before I made it, and there's a point on the pattern piece where the bust apex is supposed to be, and that fell in the right spot. So if I pull the top forward to where the shoulder seams are on my shoulders, then actually that bodice seam there does come under my bust, and it is probably in the right place. But then I feel like this is all too open, and that the neckline is too far forward. Chances are I would probably Sorry, my husband's walking around outside that window and distracted me. So I would probably want to wear this open more than closed, right? And in that case, I kind of want the neckline to be up here. And then this seam is way too high. I mean, in fact, now if I do like that, it looks like the Varley dress, which is, I mean, I guess I could just alter it into that. But so I think the problem is if I bring it forward to where this seam is, this is all just way too open. And if I put it where I would like the neckline to be, then this seam is way too high. And that's not where it's supposed to be, right across the apex of the bust. So this is the problem that I'm having. What do you think I should do? If this is tied up, I guess it's not so bad. I don't know. Maybe it's just too much fabric for me. Maybe if I shorten it, it will be better. I don't know. You tell me what you think. I'm going to go put my other top back on. And let me know what you think. Okay, I'm back. So to recap, the plan is to make pants out of this and a blouse to go with it out of this embroidered cotton. I think they'll work nicely together. But then the question is, do I try and persevere with that McCall's pattern, get it how I want it, and then make it in this cotton, or shall I just choose a different pattern altogether? What do you think? Let me know if you have any ideas. Okay, and so that's pretty much it for my sewing this week. Like I said, I've been doing a lot of work sewing, which is fantastic. Well, not even sewing, quilting on the long arm quilting. It always gets busy leading up to Christmas, which is great. Very happy to have the work, and I love to do it. So that's all fine. But I would like to be making some garments as well. Okay, I do also have one knitting whip to share with you this week. That is a project bag that I made. Back in the old days, a million years ago, I used to make project bags and sell them. That was my business, was making and selling project bags for knitters. And that was one of the ones that I kept for myself. I may have told you about this whip already once before, like in an earlier video, but I've been working on it. I don't do a ton of knitting at the moment. It's usually reserved for waiting rooms and restaurants. But I have been trying the last couple of weeks to do a little bit more knitting in the evenings because I do like to do it. And this is what I've been working on. It is called the Comfort Zone Shawl. It's by Wool & Berry. And it's just going to be a big, huge triangle shawl with the same pattern all over it. Just some eyelets and some garter stitch. And I am making it out of a Rainbows and Sprinkles yarn. This is the fresh cake. Oh, the end of it somewhere. So it's a 2 skein shawl. Well, it calls for 700-ish meters of fingering weight yarn. That's what it's written for. But it also does say in the pattern that you can use any weight of yarn and make it to any size. But I am using 2 skeins of this Rainbows and Sprinkles merino nylon, and the colorway is called Blood, Sweat and Beers. I don't know when I got it, a while ago probably. I have a lot of things that I get all the time and then take years to use them, but I love to have a stash that I can just go, oh, I want to make something, and now I have exactly what I need to make it. So yeah, that is my knitting whip. Okay, so let's move on to a few of the things that have entered the sewing room this week. I haven't got any new fabrics, I don't think, but I do have a couple of sort of sewing related things that have arrived that I would like to show you. So every Christmas, sort of the week between Christmas and New Year, it's become a bit of a tradition that I clear off my sewing table, my big cutting table in my sewing room, and do a puzzle. I love to do puzzles, but I don't have the time or the space to like have a puzzle set out on a table somewhere all the time. So I sort of like to give myself that week between Christmas and New Year to do that if I feel like it. And I guess it's been maybe like five or 6 years that I've been doing that. And for the last few years, my puzzle of choice on Boxing Day has been from Kate at the Last Homely House. And this is her puzzle this year. I love Kate. I'm assuming I probably don't need to tell you about Kate at the Last Homely House. I'm guessing most of you, some of you probably already watch her. Um, she's probably the one YouTuber that I've watched consistently for the longest time. She's the only Patreon that I subscribe to. And I just think she's a treasure. Yeah, I love her. I call her, when I'm talking to my husband about, oh, my mate Kate. My mate Kate said this and my mate Kate does that. She's not my mate. She has no idea who I am or that I even exist. But I do like to buy her puzzle every year. And this is this year's puzzle. It's going to be hard. She says it's hard. Like all this greenery is a bit tricky. But that's okay. I don't mind a challenging puzzle. And since I was there, I also ordered one each of her quilt workbooks. This is the original one. It's the quilt planning notebook, and she has in there lovely pictures of her quilts, and then there's like some graph paper and some lined paper, and yeah, so you can use this book to plan out your quilts. And then this year she also came out with one for English paper piecing. So it's the same idea. She's got some lovely pictures in there of her quilts and her English paper piecing. I think that flower garden one was one that her mum made. Oh, it was. Yeah, that's what it says. And so then there's like some templates for different pieces, instructions on how to make different blocks with different templates, and then some graph paper and stuff in there as well for planning out your quilts. I thought those would be fun. And then it came with a lovely note, a little card, a sticker, nice. And I think for the Christmas offering, got this lovely piece of wrapping paper that was designed by her daughter Martha, which is lovely, which I will obviously never use as wrapping paper. I don't know what I'll do with it, but it won't be wrapping paper. Okay, and the only other thing that has come into the sewing room recently is this Simplicity Bias tape maker. I've been wanting one of these for a really long time. I don't know. I don't know if I can justify it really. Like, I don't make that much bias tape that I probably need an actual tool to make it. But I did really want one, and I've been wanting one. And I went into Homecraft Textiles, which is also in Perth. And I don't normally shop at Homecraft Textiles. It's not really my vibe. But they carry every color of the thread that I like to use on my long arm machine. So if I need to get a thread and I need to be guaranteed they're going to have the right color, I just go there. It's kind of a trek away from me, so I don't love to go there that often. But I was there for some thread, and they had these on the counter, and they were on a special price. And I thought, on a whim, bugger it, let's just get it. And now I have it. I used it to make that top that I just showed you. I made my bias tape on there, and it also does single fold, like for quilt binding. So when you just want to fold it in half and press it. And I do a lot of quilt binding, obviously. So I think it will save time. There's a little bit of a learning curve to it, trying to get it to get it to go straight and even and all that. But I mean, I tried it once and it wasn't perfect, and then I tried it again and it was fine. So yeah, so that's pretty exciting. I think that is about all I have to tell you about in terms of whips and sewing stuff. So the only other thing I wanted to have a chat about is Vlogmas. Now, I've been back and forthing about this for the past couple of months. I want to do it. I'm going to do it, but with the caveat, I suppose, that at some point I may just have to like curl up in a ball at the corner and give up. But I'm going to try my best. So I don't do a ton of Christmassy stuff. I don't have kids in my life. Like my kids are grown up, and I don't have any grandkids. We don't have like a huge extended family. There are no kids in my husband's family at all. So we don't go out and do, fun family Christmas things. And to be honest, I don't go out and do much ever, really. Like I go to work and I live in my sewing room, and that's what I do, and that's how I like it, to be honest. So I'm not going to take you on outings, and I'm not going to like have a bunch of Christmas decorations. It's not going to be a particularly Christmassy Vlogmas. But what I thought I would do is every day for the period of Vlogmas up until the 24th of December, I will post a tip, a technique, or a tutorial for something. Kind of how I do stuff. And as always, it's just how I do stuff, not how you have to do stuff or how you should do stuff or the best way to do stuff. Just how I do stuff. Some little things I've picked up along the way. You know, for instance, how I bind a quilt on the long arm machine, or how I thread my needle so that it doesn't come unthreaded, or how I make the toffee that goes in my Christmas boxes that I do every year. So it'll be a lot of random different things. It won't all be about sewing. It could be about knitting, cooking, quilting, long arming. And I know that a lot of the things that I share may not be for everyone. But my hope is that at the end of December, I'll have 24 videos that if somebody ever in the future is trying to figure out how you thread your needle so it doesn't come unthreaded, they'll be able to search for it and find it. And that will be helpful and useful. And yeah, it will be fun, I think. And if nothing else, it will help me get faster at filming and editing, and maybe make it so that I don't feel like I'm starting from complete scratch every time I come back and do this. So yeah, that's my plan. Let me know if there's something you'd like to know how to do, like when it comes to maybe quilting or long arming or knitting. I don't know, I'm not an expert at anything, but I know a few things about lots of stuff. So that's my plan, is to share some of those things with you. Yeah, okay. So I think that's about all I've got for you today. It's a bit disjointed, this video, I think. I'm sorry about that. I'm doing my best. I will hopefully then be back tomorrow with the first of my Vlogmas series. I'm looking forward to watching everybody else's Vlogmases. Although I think making Vlogmas videos is probably going to limit the time I have to watch Vlogmas videos, but that's what January's for. I like to catch up after the Christmas season as well. So I hope you guys are all doing well. I hope you're happy and safe and looking forward to your December. And yeah, hopefully I'll be back tomorrow with something else. Okay, friends, I love you. Bye.